Thank you so much, Iris. Good evening. It's wonderful, wonderful to see so many members, friends, and supporters of ACS here in one place. Has this been a wonderful program so far, or what? We owe a debt of gratitude to the extraordinary speakers and panelists who are participating in this convention, and especially to our keynote speaker, whose presence here at our convention means so much to us, Justice Stephen Breyer. Who could have imagined just 3 years ago? As Goodwin mentioned this afternoon, attendance at this year's convention will top a remarkable 1,200 people. This is a reflection of ACS's enormous growth even since last year. We've grown in the past year to have over 105 law school chapters. We've launched 5 lawyer chapters nationwide since our last convention, and we will launch many more before the end of this year. Our chapters have put on over 500 programs this year. ACS is succeeding in its mission of demonstrating the legitimacy of an approach to law that gives human values, human dignity and compassion, individual rights and justice a central place. It's hard to imagine that since our launch 3 years ago, this mission has become even more vital. But at a time when, to take just the most recent disturbing example, lawyers in the Department of Justice have written memoranda explicitly arguing that under American law, the President has authority to subject individuals to what the Geneva Convention calls cruel treatment and torture, and outrages upon personal dignity. Your commitment to a different approach to law, one that does not permit checking one's conscience at the door, and your role with ACS in spreading that vision are more important than ever. In the end, ACS is about you. It is your organization. Your work building chapters and networks on your campuses, in your communities, and across the country is the work of ACS. ACS and its national staff are here to help you make ACS all you want it to be. The growth and strengthening of ACS this past year has happened under the leadership of our extraordinary executive director, Lisa Brown. We are all so lucky to have her. Lisa is an outstanding and talented leader and person. She's a joy to work with, and I hope you'll join me in thanking her again for all she does and all she's done here. Yes. What we've heard over and over again from ACS members is that you want intellectual substance from our programming. As you can already tell from our programs today, that's what this convention will provide. For that, we are indebted to its designers on our Convention Planning Committee, especially its chair, Professor Bill Marshall of the UNC Law School. ACS has no better friend. Bill, can we... I don't know where he is. But... This convention also would not be possible without the superhuman and often unheralded efforts of ACS's extraordinary national staff. David Lyle, Alexis Hill, Trooper Sanders, Rachel Whitlark, Jason Packer, Marie Boyd, Kate Riggs, Joy Cheney, Kimberly Sneed, Nathan Clark, and Anya Dobjanska. Haven't they done an incredible job? Could you stand? Could you all stand? Wherever you are. I also want to acknowledge the service of my wonderful fellow members of the ACS Board of Directors. Each time we meet, my sense only grows of how lucky we are that the stewardship of ACS is in such able and wise hands. Fred Barron, Scott Gale, Iris Gonzalez, Pamela Harris, Eric Holder, Lynn Walker-Huntley, Ann Irwin, Don Johnson, Jeffrey Kleinberg, Goodwin Liu, Deval Patrick, Robert Post, Lori Rubiner, Paul Smith, Patricia Wald, and our amazing chair, Teresa Wynn Roseborough, who has done so much to assure ACS's success and without whom ACS would not be what it is. Would the board members rise and be acknowledged, please? It's my pleasure to introduce the next person on the program. There are many people who have played essential roles in ACS's development and growth. but there is no one who has played a more important role. Lawrence Tribe, who will make a few introductory remarks tonight, came to Harvard College as an undergraduate when he was 16 years old. After graduating summa cum laude with a degree in mathematics, he went on to Harvard Law School and then on to clerkships with California Supreme Court Justice Matthew Tabriner and United States Supreme Court Justice Potter Stewart. Already he began to make a mark on the law. While I know he wouldn't tell you this, published reports suggest that he is the source of the profoundly important language in Justice Stewart's opinion that term in Katz versus United States, that the Fourth Amendment protects people, not places. And Chief Justice Warren's note to Justice Stewart, joining his opinion in Jones v. Mayer, which holds that the 13th Amendment's enforcement clause gives Congress the power to prohibit private discrimination on the basis of race, a proud example that the current court has failed to follow as it works to constrict congressional power to eliminate discrimination, hangs on the wall of Larry's study. Chief Justice Warren's note to Justice Stewart reads, "I am proud to join your magnificent opinion. If it had been written a century ago, our nation's history would have been very different." And Justice Stewart has inscribed the note to Larry with the words, "Larry, this is the original of the Chief's note joining our Jones v. Mayer opinion. I think you deserve to have it." Larry returned to teach at Harvard Law School, where he was tenured at age 28, and where he now holds the Carl Loeb University Professorship. There is no greater scholar of constitutional law in the United States, and no greater voice for an understanding of American law in which individual human dignity has the central place than Larry Tribe. His treatise, American Constitutional Law, is one of the most important legal books of our generation and a constant source of inspiration and insight. It has been cited more than any other legal text since 1950. With a university professorship at Harvard and dozens of books and articles, over 100 to his name, this academic achievement would be more than enough. But Larry is unique in that his distinction is not bounded by the confines of the ivory tower. We have, of course, also no greater Supreme Court advocate. Larry has won 21 of the 35 cases he has argued before the Supreme Court, and he has long devoted his exceptional talents to the cause of individual rights and equality. The cases he has argued are a litany of the most important decided in our time, cases dealing with gay rights, free speech, religious liberty, abortion rights, and, of course, the Florida election. Indeed, in his office is a photo of Justice Brennan inscribed to Larry Tribe, fellow champion in the struggle for freedom and equality. As those like me who are fortunate enough to know him will attest, Larry is an extraordinarily generous, warm, and wonderful human being. His support of ACS dates to its very beginning and has been essential and unwavering. Most of you are aware of ACS's deeply distinguished board of advisors. What few of you know is that Larry Tribe was the very first member of that board. His support has been invaluable, from persuading others to participate at the time of ACS's very birth to, with his wife Carolyn, generously providing the funding for the pocket constitutions each of you received in your packets at this convention. I've known Larry for 23 years. I've been his student. I've had the great pleasure of working closely with him in many settings, serving as his co-counsel in cases like Rust v. Sullivan, Vacco v. Quill, and in one of the greatest experiences of my professional life, Bush v. Gore. But important as they are, none of the titles he has earned, scholar, advocate, teacher, colleague, is as important to me as that by which I am honored to introduce him tonight, my dear, dear friend, Larry Tribe.